Alright, at this point, our targets do this. They kind of bounce all crazy style around there. Not like super crazy, but whatever. They're doing something kind of interesting. So I'm actually going to take this eye thing off and just have it be, yeah, there we go. It's getting a little bit better. Eye speed is 0 for the beginning. So let's do I divided by 2 plus 1. Because when I is 0, it was just giving the one on the left a horizontal speed of 0, and I kind of want them all to bounce. So, yeah, there we go. That one's a little bit jittery. It doesn't matter. That kind of stuff I don't really care about right now. It's easy to fix, but I'm just not going to go into it. You can figure it out if you want. All right, so it's doing almost all the things right now, right? So we have each attribute that we want to control individually has to have its own set of containers. So what if we want to make these things a different color? Well, that's a little bit involved, and you should pause and try and do it on your own if you'd like a challenge. So here I'm just going to start doing it. I'm going to give this target red equals a new float of size 10. And then I'm going to copy and paste this for not red now, but green. And, oops, target blue equals new float 10. And so we're getting there. Now we're going to give each target target red at I is going to equal a random value from 0 to 255. I'll copy and paste that, and then target green, target blue, and I like all these things to be lined up, which I know, it just makes for easier reading to me. So I'm going to do this. It's worth taking the time to do stuff like that because it just makes it so much more readable. Okay, so now they all have their own color value, but we're not utilizing that yet. So how do we get that in there? We can just set the fill color right before we draw the target. So fill target red at I, target green at I, and target blue at I. We'll set the fill right there. See what that does, right? No, it didn't do anything. So how do we get the actual target's colors to be that? Because, okay, what's the problem here? Well, the problem is that the fill colors, the fills are being defined here inside the draw target method. So even though we change the fill before we draw the draw target method overrides that. So you might think, well, what if we just take all these things out, right? It's a little better. Now it's just colored balls, but there's no like white circle in the middle. You might think, okay, well, what if we just uncomment out that thing? So now it'll be white, right? No, it's just a ring because it never gets changed back to the original color. The problem here is that we have to pass over the color to this method so it can make use of it. So we're going to change the method. We're going to say float R, float G, and float B. And so now we're going to request 3 more values here. And so instead of filling or setting the fill before we draw the target, we're just going to pass over the 3 values that define each target's color to the draw target method. And then we have to change the draw target method so that it makes use of those values. So we'll say RGB. And here, we're going to have it be white still. And then here, we'll change it so the inner circle is RGB. And now, I believe, we're going to have 10 targets all kind of bouncing around the screen with their one weirdo brother just kind of jittery on the sidelines. And so that is how you make use of arrays to make these things a little bit easier. Now check this out. I mean, because we have arrays doing this, we can just say we don't want 10 of them, we want 100 of them. We got to be a little careful now because the X position is being defined relative to the looping. So I'm going to change this to be like a random number from 0 to the width rather than have it be related to the number of items. So in this one, target Y should just be random from 0 to the, let's say, the floor minus size times 2. I don't really know. And then our loops, because they're tied to this number 10, we have to change them individually, which is kind of annoying. Instead of this, you can just say target y.length. So this is the length of an array, and no matter what the size of the array is, target y.length. So the loop will continue until it iterates over every single item in our array. And because all of the different arrays are the same size, there's no problem here. If you had different sizes, it would be an issue. But in our case, it's not an issue. All right, so now I think there should be 100 random targets all bouncing around on the screen. Oh, but the Y position is all the same. Starting Y position. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Well, it's a little random. You can totally, here. If we change the max speed to like 35, not 350, I believe this will help. Oh no, they just all bounce. Same thing. Why is that happening? Target Y is being set at target Y at I 0 to, let's just do 0 to the height divided by 2. See if this, I don't think this is going to fix it though. Oh yeah, it did. Okay, so there's 100 targets all bouncing crazily along on the floor.